Hi, everybody. It's Gene Simmons, and you're not, and you're listening to the Potter Than Hell podcast with Steve, BC, BB, and Dylan. But you knew that, didn't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Potter Than Hell podcast. This is your last stop on the crazy train of hard rock and heavy metal. So sit back, buckle in, and hang on. Here we go.
Welcome, Potter to Hellions, and welcome back to the Potter and Hell podcast. I'm BC. I'm joined today with
Steve.
And over across the table,
Dylan.
All right. So it is BB's on assignment, busy man. We always have him doing road work for us. Some news. I saw today the Foo Fighters released. They're doing a tour in 2024. So I know Dylan's gonna be excited about that.
Oh yeah.
You know more about it?
Lots of dates around us, surprisingly, because there's never dates around us for shows we want to go to.
No.
But they're playing City Field, which we saw them at City Field the last time we saw the Sonic Highways tour, the 2014 that was.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah, I think it was 2014, and they're playing Hershey, which is even closer. A lot better traffic-wise than...
God, I was in my 40s when we saw them then.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I was in high school. No, I was just out of high school.
Yeah, I was in my 40s. All right.
Nice.
I didn't realize it was that long ago.
Yep.
Nice.
Been a while.
Any other news, guys? You guys got anything else?
I'm gonna ask you. Does
Okay.
any new Zach Stevens news? You're usually, you know,
God.
we haven't talked about Zach in a while. I don't know.
Oh,
Has he got 3 more bands going or what?
No, he's still in the same old bands, but he's doing the Trans-Siberian Orchestra now. So
Okay, yeah.
Let's go
He's
check it.
West Coast though, right? I think he does the West Coast.
I think he's East.
Does he? Is he East Coast?
Yeah. I was like,
Who am I thinking of? That's West Coast.
again, don't. He's listed underneath an advertisement for the West Coast. East Coast. You got me saying backwards. So I don't know.
Take a drink every time we talk about Zach Stevens on this podcast. It's going to be the Zach Stevens podcast.
The Zach Stevens drinking game.
Marsha.
Zach. All right.
Nothing else going I can think of.
Me neither. After we finish recording tonight, I think
10 things will come up.
Four
Holy shit,
things.
forgot about
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Whatever.
forgot about
Whatever.
think I might.
It's all right.
All right. All right. What are we listening to, guys? Dylan, what do you got going on?
So I checked out the latest release from KK's Priest, Return of the Sinner, not Return of the Mac. Or sorry, it's The Sinner Rides Again. It's not Return of the Sinner.
Return of the Mac. What the hell's
Return of the Mac. It's a classic song from the 90s. It's not bad. I think I like the first album a little better. This one seems like it's a little more derivative than the last one. Like the first song is Sons of the Sentinel. I wonder what that's referencing. Or Reap the Whirlwind. You know, like they're really kind of hearkening to Priest a lot more as they're going, and I don't know how I feel about it. Like, stake your own claim, KK. You know? But that's just me. I mean, it's good. It's a solid album, but I get irked when he just keeps going back to the well of, I was in Judas Priest. Hey, remember me? I was one of the guitarists of Judas Priest. Hey, remember the song The Sentinel? And they mentioning Defenders. And I'm like, oh, Defenders of what? The faith that the Sentinel was off of? I get it. Yeah, thank you.
You're awful cynical, Dylan.
It's not that I'm cynical. It's just that he's good enough to stand on his own. And it's just annoying that he keeps going back to the same well, you know? A little bit of variety. Spice of life. Although, Reap the Whirlwind is a fantastic song. And I think it was the first single, so it was deservedly so. But, yeah, not a bad album. I have my own personal gripes with it, but I think it's a fine album.
So it's not making your top 10.
It's not going to make my top 10, but it's not going to be in my worst either. I think that we should be able to criticize those that we see potential in. You know, it's like a teacher calling you after class, and it's like, I see so much more in you, and you could do so much better.
You're not applying yourself.
You're not applying yourself, exactly, BC. So I just want to, you know, I think it's fine. I enjoyed the album, but
Whenever someone says it's fine, it's not fine.
You're always saying that you can't be a sycophant fan that likes everything.
No, I know. I'm just busting.
And here I am giving, I think, valid criticism, and yeah, Did you listen to it? What did you think of it?
I did listen to it. I didn't get a chance to listen to it like a good listen. There are a lot of more Priest reference things in there that I did catch when I listened to it. A lot of shredding again. I just like the metalness of it. I don't give a shit. Like, I'm not a lyrics guy. I don't give a fuck. I just want a good rockin' song. I want some time changes. I want some fucking shredding, and I get that out of there.
Yeah, no, it definitely has a lot of great shredding in it. I will absolutely agree with you on that one.
And is that all you have?
Yeah, that's all I have.
I got a couple. Actually, I had a little opportunity to actually listen to a couple new things the other day. And actually, when we were on Monsters of Rock Cruise, Sonny and I were sitting down shooting the shit the one day, and we were talking about, and I think I might have even mentioned it on the last episode, that we were talking about our year-end list and getting them together and all that stuff. So I checked out a couple albums that he gave me that I wasn't aware of. One of them is Kent Hilly. I have no idea what this guy is or where he's from or what the fuck, but the album is called Nothing Left to Lose. Really good, like melodic hard rock, kind of like what the hell's that the band with fucking Dean Castronovo and Jack Blades and Joel Hoekstra? Revolution Saints. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Real good though, a lot of choruses. Another one that I checked out was a band called Art Nation, and the album's called Inception. That one is fucking melodic gold. That one could make the list at the end of the year.
You know, I'm glad that Art finally made a band. I
know it. Hardy boy. And then I did get a chance to listen to that Jelusic album. Follow the Blind Man, it's called, which the title's stupid. The album cover's pretty cool. And I was kind of, I don't know, I listened to the first song, well, actually I watched the video for it, and it didn't like click with me, but I had it on today. I was stuffing fundraiser envelopes at the library for about like 4 fucking hours today, so I had a chance to listen to it. I threw it on, I'll tell you what, it was really good. There were a couple songs on there, I was like, holy fuck, like, real good. So that's what I got going. I got Jelusic, KK's Priest, Kent Hilly, and Art Nation. I thought he was fucking with me when he told me that name, Kent Hilly. Sounds like a country guy or something, doesn't it? But it was good. It was good. What do you got?
Get your cowboy boots ready.
Get your cowboy. Get my trusty acoustic
guitar, my pickup. Again, like you guys, I was checking out the new KKs. I mean, I agree with Steve. I don't. Lyrics are background to me. Music is where it's at. Of course, you want some kind of lyrics that are not like hi, hey, but
yeah,
shredding is it's more metal, like you said. That's perfect. It's more metal than a lot of other things that we're listening to. That Michael Sweet has a new kind of project. I heard a song of that. I mean, when is he not doing something?
Soul something. Soul Believer.
Soul Power. I don't know. Every time we turn around, he's got something going on. It's just totally crazy. And then check out that Blackbird Angels. I like it.
It's good. I like it. Yeah.
How can you go around Todd and
Tracy Guns, right?
Tracy Guns and I'm drawing a blank on their guys, but check out a bunch of that stuff. All right, so that's what we're listening to this week. We have Dylan check out the new KK's Priest, which he says, hey, he could be doing better than what he's doing, but it's still good. Steve, listen to Kent Hilly, and then Nothing to Lose, Art Nation, and what is it called? Inception.
I ran out of space on the end of the
KK's Priest too, and Jelusic, or Follow the Blind Man. I work with the Blind Man, so I can relate.
Bionic eyes.
I can relate. Yeah, he's bionic, right? You saw it yesterday. All right, so we're going to get on to our episode this week. It's just going to be a little, I guess, I'm going to be running the realm tonight, but instead of having to go through 10 albums, that we're just going to have a little roundtable bullshit section at the square table. Never hear him say square table debate. Round table debate. But, yeah, so, I mean, my first thing is there's a new band in Killington Pit. I don't know if I'm saying it right or not.
Garrick.
Chuck Garrick.
Chuck Garrick from Alice Cooper, Will Hunt. I believe he's with.
He was the drummer for Stephen Pearcy on the Cruise.
He was, but
He was on the Sabbath album, the 13 album.
Slaughter's drummer now. Because what's his name's gone.
Oh, okay.
So they're doing it, and some guys from
Evanescence, yeah.
I don't know any. Followed him.
I just know Amy
We know Amy Lee. That's
yeah,
really all we need to know.
Other than her,
Amy Lee and
you can name anybody back. But they put a band together and they released a song, "Balls to the Wall," cover of "Accept."
I saw it. I watched the video.
mean, good, but if you put a band together, why not put your music out? Why you put? And this is multiple bands doing this nowadays. They get together, even bands that are not people well known, just a new band coming out, and here's a cover of this. Don't get me wrong, I'm not bitching, but I am bitching. But if you're a new band, put your music out there. Promote yourself. Yeah, it's a good cover, good song, but everybody and their brother is doing it. Back in 1988, Briar, some band, they released 2 cover songs as singles. The Boys Are Back in Town, Steve's favorite from Lizzie Borden, and La Bamba. La Bamba.
Really?
Here's a band. I think they were from, I want to say Canada, and their 2 first singles were cover songs. I'm like, why are you not really? You have an album, and you're releasing cover songs. Which I don't know why. Why would you do that? There's just multiple bands doing that nowadays. In a world where you can get your music out easier than ever before, and I'm gonna release Willie Nelson.
So as somebody who had a band and played live, the cover songs get your foot in the door. Like they're what get people to pick up it's like, oh, I know that song, I could listen to it. And then like, because our set used to be, it would be a lot of covers, and then we would sprinkle in like one of our own songs, and then we would gradually kind of transition it out to having more of our original songs as we go in and become a little more popular. But I definitely can understand the mindset of wanting to put out a cover because, one, it shows what kind of music you're going to be doing and how you're going to put a spin on that music. Because Balls to the Wall, it's a very popular song. So you could show an audience who may not know you or may not know the bands that you're originally from, because it's kind of a super group, but not like a massive, like Chickenfoot level musicians in the super group. And you could show them, okay, this is what kind of music we're going to be playing, and these are kind of our influences. So it's kind of a nice little cheat sheet. I do agree that a regular single of original material probably would be better, at least to our ears, because we want to hear new stuff and we've heard covers a million times. But I could definitely understand why they go the covers route. It's not necessarily something that I like that bands have to do, but I can understand the path that they're taking for it.
I agree to a point. Like, okay, it's not a super group, but musicians are known for other people doing a cover. But like when you're a new band coming up and doing it, I can't see that, Steve.
Yeah, I saw that. I did. I caught that video, right? And I saw Balls to the Wall, and but then on underneath it said Will Hunt, and I'm like that looks like Chuck Garrick back there, and it was. Mm-hmm. They didn't add anything to the song. They didn't like make it their own. It was just the everyday straightforward cover of it. But like, if I saw, say it was called, I don't know, I'm looking at BC Soda, Drink the Soda. Say it's called, the song called Drink the Soda. And if I saw like Will Hunt, Chuck Garrick, I would check it the fuck out. If they look cool, and I forget what record company they were, probably Frontiers or one of the AFM or one of those, Nuclear Blast or one of those. And I would, and there's a lot of shit that I check out like that. And I checked it out because of the title of the song, number one, but mostly because I subscribe to those record company things, and I get the new videos that pop up. So I checked it out anyways, and it was good. But if it was Drink the Soda, I still would have checked it the fuck out, and I would have been like, oh, cool, all right, so these guys are good, and then maybe back it up with a cover. I don't mind that. And you had an excellent point that it is so easy, so much easier now to, we could literally record an album in this room and have it out on streaming like fucking next week. Literally.
Streaming YouTube.
You know what I mean? So it's so much easier. We could film a video of it on our fucking iPhones here while we're recording it, or we can go out on the railroad tracks and run around and shit or whatever the fuck. You can literally get stuff out almost immediately. So I don't think there's a need to really get into like throwing a cover out there first. And I get your point too, Dylan, but like that was a while. Like you didn't have that instantaneous thing.
Yeah.
Like when you guys when you had your band.
Here's another example. Fozzy used to do all covers. They didn't have any original stuff.
Right.
Their first two albums.
Their first two albums were full covers. And Chris Jericho, not a name that nobody knows. Like he was pretty big even when Fozzy came out. Like he was one of the.
Well, that's why I checked him out. I thought it was stupid. I still think I hate the fucking name. I think it's dumb, but there's a lot of stupid band names out there.
And they played in front of
but that's
one of the largest crowds as well, by the way, because they played in Wembley Stadium for the AEW, his wrestling company that he's a part of.
Oh, that's cool.
And like it was a sold out Wembley show.
Super nice guy. When I met him in Vegas, he was fucking awesome. But that was back then too, where shit wasn't instantaneous either.
Well, even Quarantine, they do Kiss covers.
But that's different though. I think that's totally different. That was number one, it was a COVID project that it started out as. Guys bored at home. Mm-hmm. He knows these musician guys, they do that. And I thought they pulled it off really well. But now they've melded that into an actual 80s Kiss cover band, which I think that's apples and oranges to what we're talking about, because that was, like I said, it was a project that started during COVID, and it kind of just took off from there, and people had interest in it, and actually they played on the Jericho cruise as well, mm-hmm. and then they just played. Sonny saw those guys. They just played in Ohio, like right after me and your mom were out there. So I don't think that's the same thing. But look at, and actually for a great example, look at Classic '78. Right? They're not a Kiss tribute band, but they put themselves out there as a Kiss-like band, but doing their own stuff. You've heard that stuff, right? Have you heard that stuff, Dylan? It sounds like these songs are plucked off a fucking Rock and Roll Over. I think the one album is on streaming. I have the both of them somewhere here, but I mean that is a different spin on it, where they're not doing Kiss songs, but they're saying, this is our take on what Kiss would sound like if we're doing this shit. And the songs are good. I'm not like people go crazy over it. I don't love them, but it's cool. I mean, the sound is there. There's a guy that sounds like Paul. There's a guy that sounds like Gina, and there's a guy that sounds like Ace, and there's a guy that sounds like Peter. It's pretty neat when you think about it, how they crafted that. But the balls to the wall, back to the balls to the wall thing. And I saw that, and that's the only song they have released. There's no album, like forthcoming album or nothing. It's a single. So, like, as a standalone single, like if we have an album coming up and it's a track on the album, and you put it out first, I think that might be a little different than just the single without an album coming out. I mean, they may have one coming down the road, which I don't see. I don't see a bunch of guys getting together just to play balls to the wall. So there's got to be hopefully something else coming.
It could be a situation of seeing if there's interest in it. Like balls to the wall, it's like you were saying with the accessibility of releasing. Like you can release anything, but that's going to be like piston in the wind unless you have something that people want to gravitate towards. So a cover would be like, oh, I know this song. Hey, listen to this band's version of this song. And like if
you liked it, then there's nothing to go check.
No, for sure, they should definitely have something to back it up.
Right, so I can't see them going through the whole trouble of just go out and doing cover balls on the wall, because like literally, I don't care what band you're in. I'm sure it's possible, but to show up and just play if you know the song, but like, you may say you're the one guitar player, I'm the other guitar player. Like I may have a little different spin on how I play it, and you may as well. So to show up and just start fucking playing it it's going to sound fucked up. So I mean, you got to have some kind of practice. So I mean, they had to get together at some point. No.
No, I read the article about it. They talked about, okay, they started talking, and they pretty much did this song through files.
Yeah,
Again.
just sending it
Oh, yeah,
over
yeah.
across the...
I mean, that's popular nowadays. A lot of people
Oh, yeah.
are doing it, which I think that you lose something there.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't
Today's
know.
world, everything's so fast-paced and crazy.
Well, and I think it's not really...
I think sometimes, how can you tell?
Yeah, sometimes it's not... Because, like, for the most part, bands have not been playing with each other, like, at the same time recording in a while. Like, now that we're in the digital world, and it's easier to, like, track things differently so that you could individually mix things. Like, bands aren't getting into the recording studio and just... Like, they do that probably for the rough tracks, just to have something down that they could kind of go off of. But for the most part, I think that...
I don't think sometimes
it's an individual situation. And, yeah, you might have the separation of, like, we have to Skype each other instead of, you know, talking in the recording studio. But there's still that communication going on. It's not just like...
Here, I'm emailing you my shit.
I realize this is an audio podcast.
The last Priest Firepower,
Yeah.
that was all recorded in the same room. And the last Queensryche album, Digital Noise Alliance, that was all with them recording together. And I think that, in my opinion, in the last, I don't know, when was Firepower, 2018 maybe?
18, I think. 18, 19.
So between that and Queensryche, they're two of my favorite albums that came out in the last like 5 to 7 years, and I think it feels more like a band thing than just people sending files. Like I said, there's probably a shitload out there that you can't even tell, because the last Night Ranger album was all recorded with sending files and shit. Yeah. So it is what it is, but I do like more of the idea of, we're in a band together, let's fucking record together. Let's record together. I mean, you don't have to be there for every goddamn thing, like, piece of it. If you need to come in and do a couple overdubs, like for solos or something like that, or you need to come in and do another vocal, like, everyone doesn't need to be there for that shit, but I like the idea of a band being a band, not just guys sitting on their computers recording shit.
I agree with that. I think that there is like a spark that you feel with another musician that you're kind of going back and forth on. You can feed off one another. Yeah, exactly. And like, if you don't have an audience of some kind, whether that's other musicians or whether that's an actual audience, I think that you do lose a little something in translation. Like, you need this kind of music, especially metal and hard rock, very much feeds off of an energy that, you're listening to somebody and you're reacting to this riff. You're banging your head, you're moshing to it. It's a kind of music that makes you want to get up and move. And if you're just doing that in an echo chamber, to quote Lars's dad, you do lose a little bit of that. But I do think that it's not a problem if you have to do it virtually. I'm not against virtual.
No, I mean, I'm sure probably most of the albums that are out there now that we listen to are probably that. But I just like to hear that this band is recording as a band. Like when Exodus recorded Exhibition B, they filmed the whole fucking thing. It shows Andy Sneap shredding in there, and it shows Rob Dukes even freaking shredding in there. It's like and especially when they do shit like that, when they're filming this stuff. I love seeing shit in the studio like that. Like, you see a band be a band.
Yep. So, I mean, that when I read that today, I think this morning I was looking at it, I was like, okay, cover, and then I read about it where, they sent files to each other and just did it that way. I'm like, you kind of like...
But they had to be together for the video. I mean, it looks like they're in the same room together.
Again.
Because I did watch the video, because I didn't even realize it was Chuck Garrick in there until I'm like, that looks like Chuck Garrick back there.
When I was reading, I'm like, I go back up on it.
Will Hunt's drum set was interesting looking.
I didn't see a video, so I'm going to check that out. Anyways, that's been a little gripe for years. I mean, I understand it's a especially years ago, it was a popular thing to do a cover tune.
I trust me, I got nothing against it. I love cover tunes, especially when they, the band makes them their own and, put their own special spin on it. And some are just fucking terrible. Some songs you can't save by a good band doing them.
No, that's been proven a few times. Alrighty, this next one's kind of it's gotta be a two-part. I was thinking one day, and it's been in the news a lot lately with Don Dokken, like people are complaining, and he's like, if you don't like it, don't come to the show. I got thinking of the bands. I mean, like some of my all-time favorite bands, of course, is Iron Maiden, Judas Priest. We just mentioned Saxon. They gotta be all getting close to mid-60s to 70.
Oh yeah,
in the band, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Nico McBrain is, I think he's 70.
Rob Halford's 70.
Rob Halford's 73, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, and then with Kiss and everything, the conversation in my mind, what I'm trying to think of is like, how long are these bands gonna go for? And when do you Kiss just decided to call it quits? Because God love it, Jimmy almost died on stage.
Yeah,
they're all you can't go on forever. And there's bands out there I think are just pushing and just killing their history,
killing their legacy.
Yes. When is too much? Do you think Iron Maiden's going to keep going for another 10 years?
I could see Maiden doing another album. I could definitely see them doing another album. I hope they do. But I have nothing against Ozzy, for example. Says he wants to do one more album. He's probably never going to get on the fucking stage again.
No.
That's probably not going to happen. Unless Sharon Hannibal Lecter him out there. But I loved his last two albums. I thought they were fucking fantastic. And a lot of people disagree with me. You know what? That's your prerogative. I listen to Patient Number 9 at least once a week or once every other week. I fucking love it. And I wouldn't mind seeing Ozzy do another album. They could do. They could probably make me sound like Ozzy from 1980 singing. Okay. But I could see where enough is enough. I like the two new Dokken songs. I don't mind him singing in that lower register. It doesn't sound like Paul Stanley singing. I would rather hear Don Dokken sing in his lane than Paul Stanley try to do the preacher voice and because they had they just played the soccer finals or something like that in Australia like a couple days ago, and I watched the video for Shout It Out Loud. I don't even know if they were playing though, but I don't even know if they were fucking playing. Well, Paul still sounded not great.
Paul still sounded.
And I don't know. I don't know if they were live or not. I don't know. But we all know with the tapes and all that shit for Paul. But Kix, I think Kix is a prime example. And Steve Whiteman is the one that wanted to retire. He told the band, if you want to continue without me, go ahead. And they're like, well, you can't be Kix without Steve Whiteman. But he had said on Eddie Trunk that he felt that his performances were going downhill and he was getting rough vocally and physically and stuff like that. And I'm glad they did their one final show at Merriweather Post Pavilion. Their home of M3. M3's going to have a different face now with no Kix on Friday or Kix at all. That's going to be kind of different, even though in the last couple of years we really didn't stay for the whole Kix show because we've seen them a billion fucking times. But that's going to be different as well without Kix there. But some bands are just pushing the limits of what is, I think, acceptable and what is in my mind is good. Mm-hmm. We've seen Doc in the last couple of years, and good for Don saying, don't fucking come. I go because it's Doc and I'm gonna hear those songs and he's rough, whatever. But the band is fucking still fantastic. I think that's the weakest link in except for Ace. The weakest link is it's going to be the vocals, right? Because unless you're have Parkinson's, like Glenn Tipton or something like that. But he stepped back. He stepped back
and try to continue.
Right. And it was cool to see him on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on the induction, and he played, which was cool. But he knows where to do it. Although, I kind of wish that one of the shows we saw, because he would come out intermittently and do like Breaking the Law, Living After Midnight. Like, he has not done that in one of the shows we've seen. Which I think we've seen 3 shows with Richie and Andy Sneap, and we didn't get Glenn on any of the shows. I would have liked to see him live one more time, but it was cool to see him do that. So I don't know. I just think some bands just need to say, that's, we're good. But I look at it this way too. This shit is all these guys know. That's all they know.
Exactly.
From when they were in their 20s. They've been touring, they've been on the road. Of course, there was a lull during the 90s, but then this shit started coming back in the 2000s, mid 2000s, and now you got the Monsters of Rock cruise. We're going on year 11 or 12, I think, and these bands are just keep coming. But on Monsters of Rock, I don't think we've seen anybody that was terrible. A couple ones were a little weaker than others. Slaughter, if you're listening to this, please turn down. They're too fucking loud. And maybe if you're too loud, it's too old, then I'm too old. But they play to the volume of zzzz. You kind of have to wait to get to a chorus to figure out what fucking song it is sometimes. But there's no need for that. Mark Slaughter still sounds good. Jeff Blando, he's one of the most underrated guitar players out there. And Mark Slaughter's no slouch on fucking guitar either. Because remember that night Jeff Blando's shit went down and Mark Slaughter played lead guitar for the first 3 fucking songs. So I wish they would just turn it down. But I mean, they're still viable if they were listenable, like volume wise. We caught George Lynch at a bad show on Monsters of Rock Cruise. He was feeling ill or whatever that day. But the other shows, they say he was good. So
good times, bad good nights, bad nights.
Yeah, that happens to everybody.
But when it's constant.
Yeah, like Ace. Like, I just think there's something wrong with Ace medically. People he's probably drinking again. He may not. He may just be like heavily fucking medicated. He may have something going on. You know what I mean? But like, pull the guy off the road. Get him well. You know what I mean? Just don't just like Elvis. Did you watch the Elvis movie?
Mm-hmm.
Doc Parker or Colonel Parker. I don't give a shit what you got to do. Get that man out on that stage, and shit like that. And that's sad, But
let them do an Ozzy. Just put albums up.
Put an album out. Yeah, make an appearance on a show. You know what I mean? Come out and say hello to the fans. Do one of the, like Ozzy's doing that horror convention down in King of Prussia. Go down for a day, sign some shit. People go out of their minds.
Push it too much, like you said. Saxon, Paul Quinn. He
said I can't do it.
I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So they got another guy. So what happened?
He looks older than you. See that guy? He fucking looks older than him. He looks like they got him out of the fucking nursing home. Holy fuck! I saw the picture. Like, holy shit!
This is the so-and-so's replacement.
It's like fuck.
I'm like, whoa.
I saw that dude too. It was like, holy shit.
Should he be going younger?
Yeah.
Anyways, but
Saxon, just please do Saxon. No more cover albums.
Yeah, talking about that could have been in the last section too, but I guess I'm getting like bow out before it's like.
What do you think?
I hope Maiden knows when.
I think they will. I think you would see Nico go before anyone else. Because he had a fucking stroke last year.
Once somebody goes, I mean, I'm a stickler for that. I'm sorry. I mean, Kicks, okay, the bass player left years ago, so that doesn't mean count. But as soon as Ronnie was getting back and forth, he was, and then when Jimmy got sick, I mean, when does it become not Kicks? And I'm going to let you speak on the subject before I go into the second part.
Yeah, I would rather a band continue to make albums than continue to go live if they aren't at their peak. Because with an album, like you said, you could tweak whatever you need to do. And honestly, a lot of these bands, they've been out long enough that I think the content is out there for fans that if you want to see them live, you could just rewatch any of these shows and see all. Because for the most part, a lot of these bands won't play a ton of new stuff. They're just going to go right to back to the well, the stuff that they always play. Sometimes they'll throw in a new song or two, but for the most part, like with Kiss, you're only going to see the same songs over and over again. And for some reason, I've been on a bit of a wrestling kick lately. And I think about, I'm
got his
wearing my
Roz War hat up.
Roz War hat. And I was watching a documentary on The Undertaker.
Oh, I was just gonna say Undertaker's the best.
Where he was retiring on one of the WrestleManias, but he didn't like how his performance went, so he decided to come back. And he kept trying to retire and come back, but like he wasn't, like each match wasn't good for the, and like you don't want that with a musician where like they keep retiring and then coming back, retiring and then, because it makes it probably doesn't feel good for themselves, and it doesn't feel good watching somebody struggle.
There's a band that even signed a contract that said they wouldn't be back.
Yeah, and like and there's something, it's really interesting because like you think about sports. When athletes retire, sometimes they become commentators, or they'll still be in the industry somehow. Maybe they become a manager for the team, or maybe they become like a coach or
scout.
Like I think that would be really interesting to see if some of these kind of rock residents can go back into the industry somehow. Maybe as producers, maybe as radio hosts. Different like avenues for them to go into after they've retired from playing live, like songwriters. There's a lot of people that like will write songs for different artists. So I think that would be a good avenue to stay in a field that you love and something you love doing. And obviously, I mean, playing live, there's nothing like it. You both have been on stage playing in front of people. You know that feeling you get when people are cheering for you. Like that's a high that I still chase to this day.
All 6 of them.
Yeah. Well,
no, we had probably 30 people watching us.
We had the first Bands for Books was pretty well attended.
It was.
And I've had a couple of good sized crowds.
Party had a lot of people there.
Yeah. I've had a couple of good sized crowds.
Yeah, there were probably 50 people at your party.
With my band. We've opened for some pretty like well-known bands in the pop punk era, so we've had a pretty decent crowd. So like that's a feeling that is very hard to replicate. So I can completely understand why they would want to keep playing live, because you want that adulation, you want that praise from the crowd, you want to connect with a big mass of people that are singing along to your songs. That's such a great feeling. But it is tough to tell somebody, hey, I think it's time. Like I wouldn't be able to tell somebody that. I could never look somebody in the eye and say, you're done. Like that's their life.
I could.
I know you could, but
when it gets to a certain point.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if somebody had a few bad...
I wish that people had the self-awareness to do it. Right. I wish that was...
But is someone a true friend of someone if they let them go on like that? Be like, dude, like, listen. You know what I mean?
I love you, brother.
Like a guy that we know that's working way past his prime. Like, way, way past his prime. And this person knows that they're way past their prime, but they've never had... And it's the same... It's a totally different thing, profession, but that's all that he's known for 40 years. 40, that's all...
48.
48. Well, even better.
48.
You know what I mean? So that's all that these people know, and they don't know what the fuck they're going to do with themselves. That's why... You see these bands, they're like getting divorced and fighting with their wives and shit when they get home because they don't fucking know them. Because they're on the road all the time. They don't know them.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's crazy. And you see a lot more of it. And going into my second part of this topic, I mean, I think we talked about it. Bands are playing now that don't have any original members in it. Like, I don't know. I mean, that... kind of like Autograph. I mean, there's a lot of drama going on there, but they're playing now, touring, not an original member in the band. Foreigner did it for like the last 2-3 years, not an original guy in the band. Quiet Riot. Some people argue now that
Rudy's.
He wasn't on the album in the first album.
No,
he wasn't in the first even.
First go round. Well, yeah.
But the heyday.
He's considered one of the guys in the classic lineup.
The classic lineup. But when do you draw, like, that's almost borderline a cover band in my opinion.
I go ahead, Dom.
It's the ship of Theseus argument, where you replace a ship board by board because it's starting to break down. And eventually you get a ship that's a completely new, boards, wind, sails, crew, everything. but is it still the same ship? Like each of these pieces was part of the ship, but none of them are the original piece. It's like the
It's called the same thing.
the London Bridge. The original London Bridge is now in Arizona. Is that the London Bridge? Because it was the original London Bridge, the first bridge that was called the London Bridge. It was disassembled, put back up in Arizona. Is that still the same London Bridge? That's a question with only personal answers. And I think you have to think about like what makes a band? Is it the people in the band? Is it the music? Is it, how the audience reacts to them? Because you have bands nowadays that are splitting up and basically forming two different sections of a band. Is the lead singer the main part of the band? Do you consider Jeff Tate to be the key piece in Queensryche? Do you consider the rest of the band to be the key piece in Queensryche? Like with Guns N' Roses too, Do you consider the current lineup to be Guns N' Roses? I think for me it's a case by case basis. I think that like a band like Leonard Skinner, some of those members have been in the band for longer than the iconic members of the band. Mm-hmm. So why wouldn't they have a stake in the name any more than the members that died?
If you weren't into music like you are, you say, okay, Quiet Riot's playing. Oh yeah, Quiet Riot. I remember them. You go and see it, and you're thinking, these aren't the guys. It's the music, but these aren't the guys.
I don't if I wasn't into music, I don't know if I would know that. I would see
exactly.
I would see them playing the songs. I would be like, oh, the singer sounds different than he did in the '80s, but they're still playing the songs that I know.
Same as the 80s.
Yeah, they're still playing the same stuff that I know. So I think to a layperson, I don't think it matters. I think that's a situation where if you're playing a song that I want you to play, I'm happy, and that's completely fine. That's a completely valid way to enjoy music. I think for me, it's a case by case basis. It depends. I guess is my short answer to that.
I think it's band by band.
Yeah.
That kind of thing is what Kiss thrives on. They don't cater to me and you.
It's the experience.
See Mr. Speed. They want to cater to, Kiss, I remember them. They don't know that that's not Ace and that's not fucking Peter up there.
They breathe fire and shoot fireworks.
They know that. In Foreigner, they just want to hear those songs. Because I don't think a casual fan of Foreigner could even name Mick Jones or fucking what was the singing guy? Lou Gramm. I don't think
we couldn't even name him.
I know. I don't think the average casual fan, the guy that turns on Rock 107 and hears Cold as Ice and Long, Long Way from Home, I don't think that they could name a guy that's in any of those bands.
Well, look at the 80s hard rock. Everybody, they didn't listen to it back in the day.
No.
They didn't live and grew up like we did.
No. The only thing that they saw was the videos of the popular songs, and they heard that shit sometimes on the radio.
And then they go to concerts. We see it all the time.
They have no idea.
No idea what the songs are playing.
No idea.
They play a hit and they go crazy.
Yeah. We were watching Great White, and BC and I were standing there, and it was Rock 107's birthday party. And this lady's there with her husband, and we got chit-chatting with them, and the band comes on, and we start rocking out, and we're singing every fucking song. And the lady goes, you know these songs? We're like, yeah, we're what's called fans. And the only song she knew was Once Bitten, Twice Shy. She went out of her fucking mind when they played that song. But the rest of the song is just I just think it's
Maybe I'm getting old. I don't know. I guess
what if Nico McBrain left Maiden and they had another guy in there, I would give him a chance.
He wasn't even the original drummer.
No.
That is true.
I would give him a chance. I mean, Clyde Burr wasn't even the original drummer.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. I would...
Adrian is not an original guitarist.
No.
When they start dropping out, it's like...
If you think about it, only two members are original.
I would...
Steve is.
Steve and Dave.
I don't even know if Dave Murray was an original guy. Original guy.
Well, there you go.
I don't know.
You only have... So, Iron Maiden, is it a glorified covers
that goes back. I think they started in 75, I think they started. So, but people like to think of the classic lineups. They want the Kevin Dubrow, the Frankie Banali, the Carlos Cavazo, the Rudy Sarzo, because that's what they know that played those songs that they want to hear. But like I said, Foreigner, I think they're a perfect example of that. People, I think when Foreigner was popular in the 70s, I think probably half the fans only knew
Lou Gramm, maybe.
Lou Gramm and Mick Jones.
Mick Jones.
Right?
Mick Jagger.
I mean, they were never a band where
It's
it
the
was
songs.
the people. So it was like the sum of the parts is the whole or whatever.
Yeah, the
you know,
whole
so
is not equal.
but I think in I think it's the bands. Like now you have Styx, right? You still have Tommy Shaw, you still have J.Y., which Tommy Shaw's not an original guy either. You have him, J.Y., Chuck Panazzo, he comes out once in a while and still plays. He'll play like a song or two. But you don't have Kevin, not Kevin. Dennis DeYoung. But you have Lawrence Gowan in there, is fucking fantastic in there. He hasn't been missed. Dennis DeYoung is doing his own thing with the young band, and I have not seen him live, but they say he's fucking excellent. So, I mean, I would go to see that. I would go to see Styx. I don't know. I think as long as they sound good, and for me, I think I'm with Dylan. It's like a band by band thing.
Well, and you have Militia Cult. You got Buck Dharma and Eric Bloom. Those are the only two.
But they were always
key
the
members.
core
Yeah.
of the thing.
Well, the Bouchards were pretty big.
They were, yeah, they were.
But yeah,
but they're the two guys that did the bulk of the singing,
like
and songwriting.
a band like Paramore. Paramore to everybody is Haley Williams. That's Paramore. For a while, it was Haley Williams and the Farrow brothers. Farrow brothers left. Everybody's just like, Paramore's Haley Williams. So for that band, it's the singer. For Foreigner, it's the songs. You know.
Well, Guns N' Roses
Guns N' Roses,
they got back together. They were calling it a reunion for us.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Now, this is an interesting case because Guns N' Roses, for the longest time, the only two core members that were part of what was considered some of the classic lineups were Axl Rose and Dizzy Reed, and Dizzy Reed's kind of a stretch.
That's a big stretch. That's a big
but
stretch.
Axl Rose is the only one
until you use your illusions.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
You had fucking Buckethead and whoever the fuck else.
Yeah, Buckethead, Bumblefoot.
DJ Asper was in.
DJ Asper was there for a little bit.
He was good
for a cup of coffee.
But I mean, when you say, "Okay, Guns N' Roses are back together," no, they're not.
They're not. I agree with that.
When they were doing it, just pissed off a lot of people with Pantera reunion tour.
No, it's not a reunion tour.
And they changed.
I consider that like a tribute tour.
They did change.
Yeah.
Well, because the Vinny and
they were the.
Yeah, they were the core members.
Yeah.
Whereas Phil Anselmo, sure, but Mick Brown,
Rex Brown,
not Mick. See,
Wild Mick Brown.
Rex Brown.
Wild Mick Brown. He retired. His brother's the drummer in Tesla now.
Yeah. I mean, when you keep it going, I guess I don't know. I think when there's no members left, I don't know. I don't know.
Like I said, I think it depends on the band.
Yeah, because I think Skynyrd is a band that's the songs as well.
Skynyrd, Styx, Journey. I think Journey can replace everybody, but
I don't know if Neil Schon.
No.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say other than Neil,
yeah,
he can replace everybody.
But in terms of the layperson, nobody's gonna really know. The only name that people would probably be able to name is Steve Perry.
Oh, absolutely.
Even though Neil is the key part of that band.
I just got tickets for Journey.
Yeah, Journey and who else? Toto.
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking awesome.
But I don't know. That's
I think it's band by band. I think it's band by band. For me, it's band.
Don't call it a reunion if it's not the original. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's the thing that you hear a lot of, and I understand.
But you know what?
The
Guns N' Roses, 90% of the people. Oh, Guns N' Roses reunion. Okay, great. They don't know the guys in
people
fucking
are coming up to me. Are you going to Guns N' Roses reunion? I said no, because there isn't one.
Say, why? When do they have it? When they have an actual one?
Where's Izzy?
Where's Izzy?
We're back, Izzy. God love.
It's a reunion of Slash, Duff, and
Slash is absolutely a key member of what I consider to be Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, when he wasn't there, Buckethead or whatever the fuck that guy.
Buckethead and
Buckethead wasn't even in the band that long, guys.
I know.
Buckethead was there.
I still just remember that because it's so fucking stupid.
The visual.
Bumblefoot was in the band longer
was
than
in the band.
than Buckethead.
He was really good though.
He was not taking away from these guys, but
No.
they're not Guns N' Roses.
No.
I'm sorry.
No. Well, you saw Guns with Axl and friends at midnight.
Fucking
Whatever the fuck.
Fuck yeah. Sebastian Bach came out, did his fucking 45 minutes. Oh, good night. Sat there for 3.5, almost 4 hours. Like, are they going to play? Or
That's
was-
fucking insane. That is just insane.
That was really crazy, but whatever. All right, let's go a different route here. We're going to stick with music, but
Oh, I hope so. We're in a music podcast.
no, we're going with sports now. How about those Dolphins?
Well, I'll see you later.
Miguel Cabrera retired.
We all listen to music. We all listen to. I listen to off the wall shit, and people. I tell people what I listen to.
We're aware.
So,
Zach Stevens, right?
Zach Stevens. Well, no, he. This is gonna be totally like. Who's your guilty pleasure musically? That's not really in the realm of what we normally listen to.
See, here's the thing. I don't have guilty pleasures because I unabashedly enjoy everything I listen to.
Yeah. Me and Steve do.
Well, I can't. I don't know. Barry Manilow. I went to see him with my wife a couple months ago. Mm-hmm. This was the third time I saw him. He's fucking awesome. Great show. Great band. Guy knows his audience. He caters to that. He looks like he's plastic now with so much fucking surgery and shit that he's had.
He might be.
Still sounds. He doesn't sound 70s Barry, but he still sounds enough Barry to be Barry. It's not, playing tapes or anything like that. I like that. I like there's like some disco shit. And actually even when we go on our baseball trips and stuff like that, I'll get to the point where I'm just worn the fuck out with Ozzy's Boneyard and Hair Nation. I'm like, I can't fucking listen to this shit anymore. So I'll throw on fucking 80s on 8. All that shit.
Fantastic.
Just think of how many times you've seen those videos of those things, waiting for Priest to come on, waiting for Van Halen to come on. And we did an 80s music trivia on the cruise. Me, Sonny, Corey, and Nicole. And we won.
Team. That's a deadly team.
We won. We fucking, because you get a point for the song, you get a point for the artist, and we had them.
Well,
we were the only ones that scored perfect.
Because you each have like a niche in the 80s genre.
And then there was
that combines...
one we didn't know number 19, and we were going back and forth on it, and I'm like, it's something with thing in it, and I forget what it actually was, and then we put it together with that. But like we were the only ones there was probably a good 70, 80 people in there, and we were the only ones that had every song right, artist and thing. You know what we won? We won an ink pen. We won a fucking ink pen.
Well, that was after you asked the guy if you were going to win anything.
Yeah. Well, and I had to get up and I had to dance to try to get extra points. But there was there was a kid there,
hilarious.
And anything that's involved, they put a kid in there, the kid's gonna fucking win. I don't give a shit what the fuck.
Did you think you were going to win with those dance moves?
Fuck yeah! I had people
You
fucking.
didn't know how to do the Thriller dance.
I don't care. I was ass slapping the guy in front of me. It was fucking awesome. But like I love that shit. Like I don't really feel guilty about it, but like you don't realize how much you know, for MTV kids that we were, that like, you know, how many tens of hours, dozens of hours did we sit in front of the TV watching MTV video after video. Shit, we had these girls as girlfriends that lived in Archibald. We took the bus every fucking day of the week. Monday through Friday, we took the bus to Archibald, walked up a huge freaking hill to these girls' house. We'd hang out with them. We'd watch fucking MTV all day because we didn't have MTV in town here.
He didn't demand his MTV.
Well, we did.
We had no say in it.
We did. I think we might have been the last city in the country that got fucking MTV.
Probably. Dylan, you got anything?
See,
I know you're very...
if you want, I can list off things, but you guys would have no idea what the hell I'm talking about is the problem. I honestly don't. I used to be very like, I don't want to say that I enjoy this out loud because I'm embarrassed by it. But I've learned some confidence in myself and in what I like, and I've learned not to be ashamed of it because I enjoy it. It's causing me, it's giving me a lot of fun. It has a lot of value in my life, and I don't, I went to see Taylor Swift twice. I didn't want to pay that kind of money, but I went to see Taylor Swift twice,
it.
and I enjoyed it both times.
I saw her at the Chiefs game last night.
Yeah, she's
She is a fucking distraction. They shouldn't allow her in the games.
Are you,
Pain in the ass.
listen, the Chiefs have probably had more viewing numbers with
God, yeah.
Taylor in the box than they've ever had in their entire career. But
Fucking ridiculous.
yeah, I just really, I'm at the point in my life where if I enjoy something, I'm just going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I don't
give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, like he's going to bust me regardless. So
Right.
it's
Absolutely.
whatever. I've developed an armor, on some things.
He's lived here all his life, so he's got to have some kind of armor coating.
I've gone through the gauntlet. I've heard it all.
You gotta have some tough skin.
I've got called things on stage. I could deal with it.
Oh man, Grace Potter. You ever heard Grace Potter?
Yeah, Grace Potter
Yeah.
and the Nocturnals, fantastic.
Well, now she's
You have me
Grace Potter.
Grace Potter, yeah.
listen to some of her stuff.
I have
Melissa
every,
Etheridge.
I have
You have
every
me
album-
getting into her.
I have every album of her. Collective Soul, I dig. I miss them. They play down at.
Yeah, see, those I can't get. Those guys I can't get into. Nah.
Come on, open your mind. See?
Are they Runaway Trains? Is that them?
No, that's Soul Asylum.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Soul Sound.
Oh, all right.
Runaway train
Well,
never
I don't like them either.
I want to Gary Allen.
I don't know who that is.
Country music.
I know Gary Allen from Greenfield.
He's a pastor. This guy talks. His songs are all about like drinking.
Country's one genre that I
Fucking
can't quite get
shit.
into.
Yeah, this guy. You gotta be in the mood for it.
There was one country guy.
He just played during gym.
There's a country guy that is like the Steel Panther of country music. I can't
haven't
think of what the
listened to
fuck his name is. And I was listening. I listened to like 3 albums of his. They were fucking hilarious. He's literally like Steel Panther of fucking country music. I can't think of that. I can't think of the name. Continue to cover. I'm gonna grab my phone. I'm gonna see if I can figure out who that is.
Yeah, but I mean, I got Collective Soul, Stevie Nicks. Seen her twice.
Steve Nicks is fantastic.
I want to see if I can catch her.
You see that
Allentown, I think.
that performance at Silver Springs? Oof.
Oh, and
Mind-blowing.
And speaking of things that people don't like, and U2, they opened up the Sphere in Vegas, and they were the first band to play there.
Was that the pyramid thing?
No,
It's like this cool,
looks a
like,
big fucking
holographic,
dome, but
like,
it's like
It could
they
display
can put
stuff on the outside of
the
it.
outside and the inside.
Yeah.
And
It's really
so,
cool.
and I like some U2 stuff. Like I love the album Zoo Station, and they opened up with Zoo Station, so it was like the first song performed in there. But I was watching some other videos. There's one part where it's amazing to look at this place. It's just they can put up anything behind them. There was one part where I don't even know what song they were doing. It looked like they were playing in the fucking desert.
Yeah.
It looked like they were literally plopped down in the middle of the
I
fucking
saw a
desert.
video where it was like they were all blacks.
Yeah.
You couldn't see the members until the screen or whatever that
Yeah.
is changed.
That's
Yeah.
a band that could captivate an audience like that.
It was crazy, and I mean I like U2. I like a lot. I won't say a lot of others. I'm more of a hits guy, but I love the Achtung Baby is the
I
album.
was gonna say
Not
Achtung
Zoo
Baby
Station.
is
Achtung
Zoo
Baby is
Station.
the album. But I mean, it was cool to see that, and that would be a perfect place for Kiss to play. I can only imagine all the crazy shit that they do for like War Machine with the dragons and all that shit. Imagine that on that huge fucking thing. It would be fucking insane. So I just wanted to do that. So let me look for this guy. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, well, you look for that. We're going to take a little break, and our gym song this week is going to be from Primal Fear with Rage by Pain from the album Code Red, right? Or
The Mountain Dew flavor.
Code Red, Mountain Dew. So there you go. Play it, though. All right, that was our gym song this week. Primal Fear with Rage by Pain from Code Red. All right, let's do some hitting gems this week. Steve, what do you got?
All right. I was aware that this album was out last year, and for some reason, I didn't get a chance to listen to it until about 2 hours ago. Because I was glamorously doing some fucking laundry when I got home from work, and I had the headphones on, and I'm just like I needed to listen to something I haven't listened to yet. So I was going through all the new albums for this year, and I pretty much listened to what I wanted to listen to. So I was going through my iTunes library, and I picked up on the album "Get Off" by Motor Sister. It's the band with Joey Vera from Armored Saint, Scott Ian from Anthrax, his wife Pearl Aday, and guys from some other bands I don't know that Dylan knows. And I didn't get a chance to listen to it. And goddamn, like the first song, I was like, "Holy fuck, kick ass!" BC, you will fucking love it. It's like Wright.
Is this their second one?
It's the second one, yeah. The first one's really good. I'm liking it a little better than the first one right off the bat.
John Tempesta from White Zombie and the Cult.
Okay, yeah.
And of course Pearl.
And she sings the second song on the album. And she's got a great voice. She does a lot of background vocals. She kind of does like the kind of stuff like Calico Cooper does, like in Bisto Blanco, kind of shit like that.
Okay.
So, but really cool. Like kicks off with "Can't Get High Enough," "Coming for You," "Sooner or Later," "Excuse Me," "Lion's Den," real good. So check it out. I'm pissed off because it probably would have been at least in my top 15 last year, and that's just listening to it for the first time. And I've seen it at the gallery, but I never picked it up.
All right, Dylan, what do you got?
This hidden gem was actually brought to my attention by my dad. Sent this over to me, said that I might like it. A band called As in Hell, and it features Michael Poulsen from Volbeat. It's a death metal band, but they are very, very good. Really great guitar work and cool time changes. The album is called Impy Horror, and just put As in Hell for the band name, which is it's As in Hell, just all one word. But really great stuff. I really like the album. I think it might be a contender.
I put that out. I'm like, Dylan's gonna love this.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
it kind of reminded me of what's that one that we all like, the short album with like 14 songs on it. It was like a half an hour.
Oh, the Municipal Waste.
Municipal Waste.
Yeah,
it kind of reminded me of that a little bit.
A little bit. It has some thrashy elements to it, but it's more death metal for sure. But not like complete screamo. It's more like the gruff.
Yeah.
Kind of. There's no real screamo. It's more Cookie Monster, but not like. It's more like
in parts.
Yeah.
I want cooker.
And there's guitar solos too. So
yeah, there's always a bliss.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was listening to something one time, and then of course down the bottom, you may also like. So I usually hit.
If it's someone you don't know, absolutely.
I know. I just throw it on. There's one band. The album just came out this past January. Almost a year ago now. Evil X, they're called. Kind of like metal. The song's called Believer. It's off the Hell Rains Down LP. They're from Columbus, Ohio, believe it or not, for like a metal band like this. But I mean, it wasn't too bad. It caught my ear.
Is that okay? Now I found them. Cool.
Evil X.
I bet Sonny's not watching them out in Ohio.
He's not watching them.
He'll give you the Boruto.
All right, guys. So that was our hitting gems for the week. Now we're gonna go into part 2, I guess. We're not. Okay. I just got a phone call. The world's ending. Half hour from now.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna get on this fucking. I know somebody at the spaceship. We're getting on. We're going to take off.
Okay.
You can only bring 2 albums with you.
Elon Musk.
And I'm gonna hold you to it. Like, I don't believe you didn't pick this. I don't believe Dylan didn't pick that.
Fuck.
You're going. You got 3 minutes.
Go ahead first, Dylan.
I mean, just random. I mean, doesn't have to be even good. Just name off 2 albums. You.
I think just because I listened to this so much, Welcome to Horrorwood, the Silver Scream 2. It's October as well while we're recording this, so it's kind of I'm actually wearing the shirt right now.
He's got the shirt on.
Yeah, that album just is the gift that keeps on giving. And I guess out of format, just to have one out of format. Oh boy, I would say maybe the Boy Genius record. It's a super group featuring Julian Baker, Phoebe Bridgers, and Lucy Dacus. Very good. They actually just played Philly, but the tickets were pricey, so I couldn't quite afford it. But yeah, that album is called The Record. So I guess I would pick that, and I would pick Ice Nine Kills, Welcome to Horrorwood 2, Silverstream 2.
All right, get on.
All right, I would take Iron Maiden Peace of Mind. I would absolutely take Iron Maiden Peace of Mind, and I would probably take Kiss Alive 2. That'd be my 2.
Get on.
What about you?
I like I said, how can you pick?
I know, and that's just top of my head.
I wouldn't be able to narrow it down to 50, but just reach in the bag and pull it out. I look back to a long time ago. I would pick Death Leopard Pyromania. That was just such in my youth. I played the shit out of it.
You mean Hysteria, right?
Pyromania.
You mean Hysteria, right?
Pyromania.
Ooh, no, I wanna say Black Parade instead of Boy Genius.
Oh,
so,
good, because I can listen to that.
My Chemical Romance.
I can listen to that one too.
Sorry, continue.
Oh, My Chemical Black Parade. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Then again, reaching because we don't got no time. We just got.
You're not allowed to bring Zach Stevens, BC.
The Sabotage Collection. No, Rat Out of Cellar. Those are 2 albums when I was like 13 years old.
Just absorbed them.
Played the shit out of it, like you said. You listened to every riff, everything you read.
That's the same thing. Me Alive 2
every note.
and
Alive
Peace of
2.
Mind.
I mean, there's so many that
I know.
you can't live without. But that was just very random. Just grab it, you're going. You can't sit there going, well, I don't know, maybe I'll take this one.
I leave underwear behind and take another album.
Alrighty.
You can always wash them.
Okay, this next one's going to be it could be a band or an artist that you wish you got to see that either no longer play or no longer with us.
Off the top of my head, probably David Bowie comes to mind first. I feel like that would be a really good show. That or Queen with Freddie Mercury and like the original band, of course. Those are 2 that I feel like the live experience would be so impactful that you couldn't recapture it with different people. So those are probably the 2 that pop up right away for me.
I got Pretty Maids for number 1. I'm so bummed that I just never got to see them. I mean, there may be a chance that we may get to see Ronnie Atkins, maybe.
I read something the other day.
Are they talking again?
There's been talk.
Good,
So
good. Well, I hope.
It's not out of the realms of possibility, so I'll give you another choice. He said he's not guaranteeing nothing, but the 2 of them have been talking, him and Ken Hammer.
Okay, all right, good. That's good news. I would have loved to see Rainbow with Dio, playing with them for sure, and I was gonna say Deep Purple, but I've seen them.
It's not him.
At least you got to see Dio, period.
I don't know. You never seen Dio?
I have not seen Dio.
We saw
Oh,
Dio.
really?
We
Nope.
saw Dio.
We saw
Scranton.
Yeah, no shit. I saw Dio at that Special Spectrum show in Philadelphia
Spectrum,
for Last Line Tour. It was fucking awesome.
Boom, kind
I'm
of
trying to think. I don't know. There's not a whole lot of bands that I like that I didn't see.
Show off.
I was just born at the right time, you know.
I am glad I got to see Taylor Hawkins. That is one thing that I thank my lucky stars that I was able to experience.
Come back to me for the second one. I got to look through the list here. Nothing's seriously popping in my head.
I would. My first one would probably be Led Zeppelin.
That's a
I
good
mean, you're
one.
not a big Zeppelin person, but John Bonham. I mean, just
Yeah.
go back to that time frame and what was going on then. I would love to see that. And Randy Rhoads. I would have loved to see Randy Rhoads live. I mean,
That was a good one.
Watching the stuff he did and just They're two
Yeah.
right off the top of
You
my
know-
head. I wish I could.
And I honestly wish that I got to see Tom Petty at some point.
Yeah.
I never got to see Tom Petty.
Could have went with your sister.
I know they played that one show. I think they're still trying to get off the mountain down there. Fucking worst place ever for a show.
Good.
You gotta get me over that mountain.
I don't know. I was just gonna say, but I did see the original Guns N' Roses. Not the original because it was
Use your losing.
Gilby Clarke was in the band then. I think.
You just see him down Whitaker?
Oh no. Izzy was there. Izzy was with them then. It was Appetite
Where?
tour down at Pocono Downs.
Oh, okay. I was going to say you weren't there.
Yeah, I was there.
And you were there. And you were there.
They were an open act.
I don't know. Nothing's. I would have liked to see Journey in their heyday, like either Escape Tour or like Frontiers Tour. They would be, and I can't think of any besides Pretty Maids like Hard Rock right off the bat that I haven't seen. I mean, like I've never seen Helix, but I'm like I'll survive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Different bands like that I haven't seen. Huh?
Still possible.
No, I know. But I've seen most of what I want. I've never seen Slayer, but I'm surviving. I'm okay with that.
That's all.
That
was the only concert I fear for in my life.
So I don't know. There's some that I haven't seen that I could absolutely live without. But I would like to see Journey with Steve Perry back in the day, either Frontiers or Escape Tour, and I would have liked to see Tom Petty at some point. That ship is absolutely sailed. Steve Perry's still alive, but he ain't coming back.
I don't think you're gonna see that.
No.
But let's open the floor here.
What do you think about backing tracks, BC?
I see. They're good. I don't know, like when it's to the point of lip syncing, I think it's bad. I mean, there's a lot of talk about that. I mean, helping the people, I can understand that to a degree, very small degree. But when it's like Krug up videos of everybody like not even playing and then playing, you know what I mean?
The drums are starting and Tommy Lee's not behind the drum kit, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, there is...
But they're Motley Crue. Why do they need that? Why do they fucking need that?
Exactly.
I mean, and I understand that a lot of the shit's on click tracks because of the timing of lighting and effects and shit like that. But, like, I just want to see a band get up there and just fucking play. I don't give a shit if there's pyro. I actually loved seeing Kiss on the Hot in the Shade and Revenge tour. It was no makeup, I mean, you still had a small amount of pyro and lights and shit like that, but it wasn't as regimented as a show as it is now. Now Kiss show is just, it's a show. It's not a fucking concert. It's a fucking show.
Broadway show.
You know, it is. It's a Broadway show with bombs and
The lyrics
smoke.
aren't, and I said, welcome to the concert, Dad. It's, and I said, welcome to the show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, true.
But, I don't know. To a small degree. Musically, I want to go hear the band play. I don't care if it's...
You fuck up, you fuck up.
You fuck it, and I don't care if it sounds like the album. Like, people go, I want to hear it sound like the album.
And stay home and listen
Stay
to the
the fuck
album.
home, turn your stereo up. Live music should have a totally different, I don't know if I'm saying this right, totally different feel than playing a record on your player.
Right, and every band, and what does every band say? That we tried to record like we sound live. I can't think of a fucking band that has done that yet. There's not one band that sounds like an album when they fucking play it, unless they're fucking lip syncing.
I was going to say Billy Vanilli.
Yeah, and right, and like shit like that, like in, and we had a conversation about this on I Remember Now podcast on Queensryche, and I'm into the music for live shit. I know you are too. Some people hate live albums, which I don't know the fuck why, but some people hate live albums. I love getting a new album of a band, but I want to see them play that shit live. You know what I mean? I mean, like the new Ozzy albums, I know I'm never probably going to see him play any of them songs live. That's just not going to happen. But I'm enjoying the albums. But like, if I get a new Maiden album, I want to see them play shit from that live. If I see new Priest album, I want to see shit from that live. Like, I just want to see live music. I just like, it's just the, and if I can't see them live, I want to hear a live album from them. Like with the way people put shit out now, you can have a live album everything. I just ordered the even because we weren't able to go to the Metallica show at the Meadowlands. I ordered the 2 CDs from that show. So Kiss, they were doing the instant live shit back in the day. Metallica's been doing that for quite a while. You know, but I mean, you do a Kiss now, the only thing you're gonna get is the name of the town is different. But
So there is a way that you could listen to one newer Ozzy song. If you go to see Post Malone live, he does the song that he does with Ozzy on his album, Take What You Want, which is not on, I don't think it's on Ordinary Man, but he did collaborate with Post Malone. But that's not a bad song. So you could see that live if you go to see Post Malone live, Dad.
Post Malone.
It might be a bonus track,
What's it
if
called?
anything. Take What You Want.
He's like, I don't think it's here.
no, It's a Raid is on there from him.
Yeah. Posty.
Oh, but that's a Post Malone song, not an Ozzy
Yeah,
song.
that's
right?
what I'm saying, yeah.
It's not it
I feel your heart beating, very
I
hard
wanna
stone. Take what you want from me. Take.
now. No, like you, I want to hear live.
Yep.
I don't care if it sounds like when they
I'd rather hear Paul Stanley sound like dog shit than
pipe in the background vocals. That takes away from it too, especially in the live. I mean,
yeah.
when
I
they're
mean,
so
but like,
perfect. It's like
I think Rush, when they were playing,
It was a bonus track on the CD.
was it? They had. I mean, I think they had stuff piped in. They had to. They fucking had to.
Same thing with Ice Nine Kills. They have some stuff piped in as well. Just like
there's so much going on though.
yeah.
Yeah, because when we saw them live, I'm like, there's no way they can replicate this shit live. There's no fucking way. There's just too much going on.
And that's, to me, that's okay. As long as the
Yeah,
bass,
If the spirit of it is
the
there.
bass is there. You, like with that music, you have so much going on. There's, you know what I mean. So yeah, I mean, but you go see a band, you just when you come in.
Remember just like going to Tinks and seeing Sabotage? Like, we were like right up front there, fucking Al Petrelli, fucking
no fanciness,
nothing, no craziness. We had John Oliver, we had your Zero Zach Stevens, Chris Caffrey, Jeff Plate, fucking Johnny Lee Middleton. But it was just like in your face. We're like we're like here, and Sabotage is like right there,
So
and
many
they're
shows there.
fucking playing this cranking shit.
So many shows, this
You know?
summer. And it was live.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, and I was thinking about it the other day.
it wasn't Memorex. It was
We went
live.
to see, speaking of Sabotage, the Sabotage and Ted Nugent show down in Rocky Glen. Fucking incredible. Were you there? Did you see that?
That was done.
Fucking incredible. Fucking incredible. And for Sabotage, it was the Fight for the Rock album. And then for Ted, it was Little Miss Dangerous. And I saw him like 2 weeks before, open for Aerosmith, the same tour. But then he was doing one-off headlining shows. He played Rocky Glen. Absolutely phenomenal. And that was back when he was playing the PRS guitars and shit. Fucking fantastic. And it was in your face. There was no tracks of that shit. The technology wasn't there for that shit back then. So whatever you got, you got.
Cinderella, I saw there.
Cinderella?
That's before
Rat played there. Bon Jovi played there.
there. Rat.
You saw Bon Jovi at the Kingston Armory with Cinderella.
Cinderella.
Alice Cooper and Vinnie Vincent Invasion played there. I didn't see that show though. Priest of Megadeth, friggin' Priest of Megadeth down there. Painkiller tour and fucking Rust in Peace tour. What a fucking show that was. Were you there? You were there? Okay.
Who did I go with that with?
That was fucking crazy show.
I don't remember. I was like, oh,
And that was right after we invaded Kuwait in Iraq and that.
okay.
How'd
That
you
was,
make it
like, right
back for
around
the-
there.
How'd you make it back for the show?
It was tough. I had to take a couple flights, but I mean, we've seen a lot of outstanding shows in the last 10 years, but those shows back in the late 80s, early 90s, they were the shows that pretty much formed what I listen to now, because it was so in your face, and that's why we've seen Jackal and Wasp and fucking Dio down at Tinks down the road. We saw Michael Schenker Group freaking 3 miles from where we're sitting right now, and it was absolutely fucking phenomenal. But like now it's so monetarily
I
there.
blame technology.
You used to be able to... Well,
technology.
think of what it cost to probably put on a show now. God, they used to just come, set up some amps and fucking... couple spotlights, plug them in and fucking play. Now it's... You know, huge ass fucking soundboards and like crazy LED computerized lights, and that's even just in simple venues. Like I think the last thing we saw that was like so cool and stripped down like that was the third day of the M3 that first year at the slimy sleazy Sunday.
Oh yeah, you're at this.
We're at this fucking
bar.
Not to insult it, but this dive bar.
Yeah.
And he had like 8 bands playing. It was Ted Poley and Denman and LA Guns.
Like a big outdoor patio.
It was fucking awesome. It was great.
Right in your face.
But I think that was like the last
Babylon
show
AD.
that was kind of like that. Babylon AD, Junkyard. But I mean, it was so in your face. You don't get that a lot. You get a little bit of it. We get a little bit of it at the pre-parties for Mork. We get it somewhat for that. Like when the first Mork we went to, we had like Y&T and you know, like shit like that. But it was bigger, but it wasn't as intimate. But it was close to that. But like Mork, go in Studio B. There's no fucking pyro. There's no smoke. The band gets up there and they fucking play. Studio B's the best. I love Studio B. We saw it. I just saw an ice skating show in Studio B on the ship we were on.
Oh, you can tell it. Like, is that what they do?
Mm-hmm. I think they cover the ice. I'm not sure how that actually works, but yeah.
But no, I think technology is really.
It's good and bad at the same time.
For every bit of it being good, something's bad. Every action has a reaction. Technology, yeah, good, but takes away from the rawness of live music. Unless you go to a club like Finnegan's down Scranton, something like that, which I wish we went to see Spread Eagle. Where did we go? Where were we? Or what was going on?
I don't remember, but something was going on that night.
That's just guys up there, 4 guys and
play
amps and shit.
Yeah.
Nothing fucking fancy. Very little lights.
Get up and play.
And tore it up. Anything else, guys?
I'm good unless you got something else. You can go around and wrap up.
You can wrap it up. I mean, final thoughts, Dylan?
I really love having these conversations because it gives us a chance to kind of showcase what we would normally do outside of the podcast in the podcast format. Less kind of structured lists and things like that. We get to talk about our feelings on different parts of music that I really appreciate doing. Like I'm always interested to hear your takes on it, and I think because of our different experiences, you know, you guys kind of saw the music scene change its landscape pretty drastically from when you first started listening. So it's interesting to see how you have watched that transition go, and whether there's good things or bad things that come out of it, that's, I mean, up to the individual person. But I think these are really valid topics to talk about, and I don't think there's any right or wrong answers with it, and I think that there's a lot of great topics of discussion out there, and we've hit a lot of them today. And you could listen to some of the bands that we talked about on this podcast that may or may not have original members
at the present time.
At the present time on our Spotify playlist of the week. And absolutely let us know what your opinions are on some of the topics of discussion that we've had. What do you think constitutes an original band, or like if the band becomes a cover band? You know, what do you think about backing tracks live? These are all topics that I think I would love to hear from our listeners and hear what they have to say about them. Good job, BC.
Yeah, good job, BC. That this is the episode that I never thought was going to happen, because we had this slated for
a year,
probably a good at least a good 8 months. I think.
That day may never come.
But I like the conversation. It's always fun just shooting the shit about this stuff, and I think Dylan had a good point. Like you and I, like we've really seen bands go from clubs to arenas back to fucking clubs again. You know what I mean? And you know, they hit their peak, and then the music kind of went away. It went away in the public eye. It didn't go away for me. Like there's bands that we listen to that have albums out that people have no idea that they even fucking recorded. You know, people don't even know that Rat had an album out in 1999, self-titled. Like just people don't even know that fucking exists. get it because it has one of the best Rat songs out there, Lovesick.
Back when it happened, we were like, oh, man, Night Rangers playing tanks. But, you know...
But then we're like, Night Rangers playing tanks, man.
Now you look at it, and you went there, and you had such a great time. You know, you weren't in an arena.
Right.
You're in this...
And I liked it better.
It was so much better.
I liked it better.
Great White. We saw Great White down there.
I saw Night Ranger played Rocky Glen as well. They played Rocky
Glen. Rat. No, not really. Was it 3 guys, Rat?
At Tanks?
Yeah.
It was Blotzer, Piercy, and
DeMartin.
Warren, right?
And Robbie Crane.
Robbie Crane. But John Corabi played rhythm guitar on that.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
You see that thing that was just on? They interviewed Robbie.
I saw it, but I didn't see it.
Because they wanted Robbie to be the vocalist. And he's like, I ain't doing it.
Good for him.
He goes, no, Stephen Piercy. He's like...
He's the voice of Rat.
He's the voice of
Rat. He's the voice of Rat. Whether you like him or not, he's the voice of fucking Rat.
So he goes...
We saw him with Jizzy Pearl, and it wasn't the same.
He goes, I'll play guitar. And that's how he ended up.
That's all he did, yeah.
And he played guitar. And he was happy because he goes, for the first time, I was not the lead guy. I was not...
You could just play music.
Play music and, you know, smoke a cigarette. He
yep.
said.
Yeah, so great topics. I love just shooting the shit about this stuff. And it's always fun. And like Dylan said, I would like to hear, you know, other people's thoughts on some of the things we touched on today. And, you know, if it wasn't for this shit, we wouldn't be sitting here now. We would probably just be sitting on the porch having the same conversation without recording it.
Where were we? Was it the
Rockin' Pod?
Rockin' Pod that we all... Weren't we in a hotel room somewhere?
No, we were in the lobby that first night. It was me, you, Sonny, Huddy. I think Steven was there. We shot this shit, and we said when we got done, man, if we recorded this talk right here, it would have been friggin'
one
amazing.
Big microphone above us,
because we had, and we were all just like fledgling podcasters at that point, and we just kind of converged there, and we were cranking some beers down, and it was amazing. It was an amazing conversation. I forgot about that.
I remember that.
And that really cemented all of us guys as friends at that conversation. I forgot about that. That was fantastic. Yeah. So great episode.
Yes, I know.
And
like I said, there's so much to talk about. You could talk forever, and everybody has different opinions. Like you guys said, hey, let us know what you think. Maybe you like backing tracks.
Maybe you'd rather hear backing tracks.
Maybe you like the cover things. I don't know. But hey, let us know. So I mean, that's gonna be it for this week. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you next time. And there will be a next time.